Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Eric from Tech. I've been on the lookout for accessories that will enhance your gaming experience on your mobile phones. And that is when I saw an email from Gamesir asking me if I wanted to review some of their gaming products. You probably know what my answer was because here they are on my desk, and I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing and show you what each of these items are for and if you're actually going to be needing them or will appreciate having them, especially when you're playing on your mobile phones. So let's go ahead and unbox these accessories, guys. So I've got the Gamesir F8 Pro Snowgon mobile cooling grip over here, as well as the F5 Falcon Mini. This is the mobile gaming controller, but it looks like a shoulder trigger, but I'll test it out as well. And I've got the Gamesir F2 Fire Stick, so these are L1 and R1, and I've got the Gamesir Talons or finger sleeves. So let's put all these other items aside and open up the cooling grip first. So you've got this handy tab over here, so you can So you get this handy tab, you just pull and that's going to release the adhesive. Okay, nothing else inside the box, so let's put that aside. And I've got the cooling grip right here, and I guess you've got the manuals right here. Let's see what's inside. So as the name says, it is a cooling grip. So you've got a USB-A to USB-C cable, and you've got Gamesir stickers. If you're a fan of those, you can stick it anywhere you want. And got the Gamesir warranty card. So there is an extended warranty period of 6 months, so just have to scan the QR code. And of course you've got the Gamesir F8 Pro user manual. What is this over here, guys? Of course, quality check is done and all good. Let's get to the cooling grip. It's pretty well protected, so even though the box wasn't in good shape, the cooling grip has no damage whatsoever. So it is made of plastic, but it has a matte feel to it, and just looking at it and feeling it firsthand, it does give you confidence that it's going to be sturdy and it should hold up, especially during gaming sessions. So you've got an attached thumbstick over here, and of course this is your cooling pad or your cooling area. So of course you have to remove the plastic film before you actually start using it. So let me just remove it right now. Okay, seems to be a rubber material similar to the material that's used on the Phone Cooler Pro 1 and the Phone Cooler Pro 2. And since it's a grip, you actually put the phone inside like this. So you just slide it open and just put your phone in. So just to test, guys, I've got my Poco F3 right here. So to put it in, just put it on one side, slide it open, and there you go, guys. Seems to be a good fit. And looking at it from the top, so for those that are worried that it's going to block the charging port, there is enough space to put your cable there and you can still charge and use the phone. Especially if you're using a gaming phone that has the bypass charging, you can still connect that charging cable at the bottom. And of course for the Lenovo Legion Pro 2 and the ROG Phone 5, you've got the side charging port and that is in no way blocked. Now looking at the back that makes contact with the phone, seems to be a pretty good fit, so it does tell me that this should cool the phone pretty well. And going at the back, there is a metal stand there that you can pull out like that, and you can set your phone like that in case you want to watch movies. So it doubles as a stand. So that's pretty nifty, guys. And of course you've got the Gamesir logo at the top. So now, since I've got the phone attached, let's try turning it on. But let me go ahead and get the Phone Cooler Pro 1 just to compare whether this actually gets a lot cooler or doesn't get as cool as that one. So hang on, guys. So I've got the Xiaomi Black Shark Phone Cooler Pro 1 over here. Of course, we're all familiar with this one. It's been featured on the channel a couple of times, the Phone Cooler Pro 1 as well as the Phone Cooler Pro 2. Only difference is the Phone Cooler Pro 2 has a small LED display on the top that shows you the temperature that cooler is getting. So let me get the charging cable. Now, of course, you're going to be needing a separate charger, or in my case, I'm going to be using power bank. Power bank attached. So let's attach it to the Snowgon cooling grip. So it's connected, and just flick that switch, guys. So you can see it does have LED lights and is going to cycle through the available colors. So I've seen a green, and this is going to be your blue, your purple. So there is a lot of color here, and you can see there's a green light that does tell you that the cooler is on. So let me run the cooler for a couple of minutes to see how cold it gets. Already 9 degrees, guys. It's pretty cold. Alright guys, so the coldest I've seen it go down to is 6 degrees Celsius, which is pretty frosty, guys. So let me turn off the cooling grip. And let's do the same test on the Xiaomi Black Shark Fun Cooler Pro 1. So again, connect the cable, turn on the cooler, and let's see how cold it gets. Alright guys, so the Fun Cooler Pro 1 gets to a pretty chilling 2.5 degrees Celsius. But some of you might be thinking that that is too cold and it might cause condensation on the phone, so there is that to consider. But at least with the Gamesir cooling grip, the temperature doesn't go that low, so you should be safe from any form of condensation on the back of your phone. And one plus side is you've got these grips that will make gaming actually a lot easier, so you don't have to actually hold on to the phone itself. You just put the phone in, hold the grips, and it's like you're playing on a proper controller. So now let me test this out on a couple of games that I have. Of course, what's the use of having a controller like grip if you're not going to be able to play properly? And as for the cooling of the cooling pad right here, I'm going to be including this cooling grip in my torture or thermal throttling test so you can see how well it performs and as well as how well it cools those hot Snapdragon 888 gaming phones. So let me just go ahead and put my Poco F3 inside and attach it to the grip again. So you've already got an attached thumbstick over here, so if you're not a fan of it, you can actually just pull it out. Simple as that. But if you want to use it, it's a matter of popping it back in. And you can adjust the height so you can go up and down. So now if you want to play it on a game like Mobile Legends, you have to adjust your controller UI. So again, let me just close out, go to settings, interface, custom UI. So you can adjust where you want the thumbstick to go, and of course I want it to be right there at the center, and there you go. And let's save. Okay, and quit. So I guess I'll turn it on. Cooling is on. So I'll just go into training and test it out, guys. Hang on. So of course, before you start, you pull out the plastic. There. And also, one thing to note, guys, make sure the fixed position on your joystick settings is on in order to make sure that it works properly. There. Okay. I might have to play around a bit more with the settings. It doesn't seem as responsive as I want it to be. Or probably I'm just not used to using the thumbstick yet, so I'll give it a couple of days and I'll report back to you guys on how I find playing Mobile Legends with this thumbstick. So let's exit out. Alright guys, so for Genshin Impact, I've got a bit of bad news. Since you can't really configure the controls on this game, it's basically unplayable with the thumbstick. So basically everything you do with the thumbstick, you go right, it goes left, because it's too far to the left to be of much use. So if you're going to be playing Genshin Impact with this, I suggest removing the thumbstick and just play it normally. Now, one thing that I do appreciate is Gamesir actually also sent me their Gamesir F2 Fire Stick. So basically what these are is your left and right triggers. So they seem to be made of pretty tough clear plastic, and how do you actually attach them. So what this tells me is this is the right trigger. So you attach it to your phone like so. There you go. And then it's just a matter of tightening this part, and it's not going to move, guys. And same thing for the left side. You connect it like so. And again, same thing. You tighten it this way. So now you've got your shoulder buttons. Now I really like having these L1 and R1 triggers because one of the main complaints that I've got with the Poco F3 is the lack of shoulder triggers. So if I compare this with the Redmi K40 Gaming, it has shoulder triggers by default. But playing first-person shooters on this one without a trigger is not really enjoyable for me, but that is just personal preference. But for you guys, you might be used to playing a claw style, but in my case, I live or die by the shoulder trigger buttons. So let me exit out of Genshin Impact and let's load up Call of Duty Mobile. So again, I've attached it. Let's wait for the update to complete. Now, let me just see some sample temps on the front. 31.9. 36 and 30.7. So it's not getting that hot, guys. So the cooler is making a big difference. But I really do like those RGB light, guys. But take note as well, if you're going to be using the left trigger, and if you're playing on a phone like the S20 Ultra or the Note 20 Ultra, and even the S21 Ultra that have those huge camera bumps, this trigger might not fit. But in this case, since the camera bump is not that substantial on the Poco F3, it does fit pretty well. Okay, good thing to note, guys, the Poco F3 with the Snapdragon 870 finally has the 90 frames per second option. So I've enabled that, and let's go to the controls, do a custom layout, and let's move things around a bit. I'm going to be moving my aim button over there, and I'm going to place the controller so it's going to be touching that. There you go. There, let's move things around a bit. And let's do a test game. Now if you notice, guys, I didn't use the thumbstick because I still didn't feel it was accurate enough to play in fast-paced games like this one. So in my case, I removed it, and I'd recommend that you also remove it as well, but your mileage may vary. So give it a try and let me know in the comment section down below. So now I'll be loading up PUBG. So you have to do the same thing on PUBG. Go to settings and set up the controls. So again, same thing, you have to remove and attach the R1 stick again, or the R1 trigger. And same thing here. Ow! That hurts. And this there. Just the aim, move the aim over there. And there you go. Now let me give the thumbstick one last try, guys. Okay, now I'll start a game. Okay guys, it's not gonna work. Not really a fan of this thumbstick, so I'll go ahead and remove it. Okay, so one of the problems I encountered was that these shoulder triggers actually block a big part of the screen. So if there's something there that you need to click or you need to press, you need to move them out of the way on the custom layout of your controls. But otherwise, they do a pretty good job. And in the case of the Poco F3, it actually fixes that one complaint that I've got against the phone, and that is it doesn't have shoulder buttons. So for just $19.99, you can actually get the L1 and the R1 triggers. And right now, I know that Gamesir is having a sale on this specific item, and you can get it for just $9.99. So that is a big $10 discount. So if you're like me and you can't game really well, especially in first-person shooters like PUBG and CODM or Call of Duty Mobile, then I suggest getting these pair of shoulder triggers. So that takes me to the third item on the list, which is the F5 Falcon Mini mobile gaming controller. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So again, you've got this easy pull tab, so you can open it properly or open it quickly. And at the back, you can see that it does function like shoulder triggers, and we're gonna see just how to attach it and how it works. Alright, so unlike the L1 and R1 separate triggers, it's only a single item in the box. Right now, I'm not sure if there is an internal battery on this or you need to keep it plugged in order to play, because it does come with a micro USB to USB-A cable. So let's see. So, and of course, you've got pretty small user manual because the box is pretty small. And what does it tell us to do? Step 1. Put the F5 vertically down to the side of the phone. Alright. Step 2. Press down the F5 buckle to make it fit on the phone. Okay. Step 3, you enter the game's custom settings and you map your controls accordingly, and it does have a burst mode. So you don't have to keep pressing the trigger, just press it once and it's going to do a burst mode for you. So we've got the indicators over here. If it's orange, it fires 9 times randomly. Alright, red, you can actually record the fire time, so it works like a macro, and in green it's going to cancel out your settings. Okay, and it does have an internal battery and you can actually charge the controller. So let's go ahead and remove these L1 and R1 triggers, and we got the F5 Mini, Falcon Mini. I really like the click, and I can see it does light up green. I'm not sure if you can see it right there. So it does seem to have a charge out of the box, but let's go ahead and connect just to see if it's going to charge. Light is red, and flashing, that indicates that it is charging. For now, let's go ahead and give this mini controller a try, guys. They did say you slide it down. Pretty good fit, guys. So again, the way to tighten it is you move this thing down. Let's just customize the controls again. So I've set it to hit the trigger button again. So good thing here, guys, is you can actually mix and match. So if you bought the F2 Fire Stick first, you can still use it in combination with the F5 Mini, or you can actually go ahead and buy 2 F5 Minis. And if you're wondering about the price, it's actually $19.99 US. So it's not too pricey, but it should help out in your gaming sessions, especially if you really need those shoulder triggers. And let's go into a game real quick. Now, one major difference here, guys, is with these triggers, you actually have to keep pressing. But in this case, it automates it for you. So it's like pressing it several times all at once without having to mash the trigger. You can just hold on to it. And good thing is, you can actually move it to the left side, so both buttons work. So it can be configured on either side of the phone. So I guess I'll go ahead and remove these for now. They're going to basically do the same function, but of course you've got an internal battery on this, and it does have a macro mode where you can record the number of times that the button is pressed, and you just have to make sure that it's at that setting. Now I'm definitely going to be using these triggers as well as this one, because this one has a smaller footprint. It's not covering as much screen space as the F2 Fire Stick. And one final item that I'm going to be testing out for you guys is the Gamesir Talons. So basically these are finger sleeves. So who are these sleeves basically meant for? Well, for those people that have very sweaty hands that tend to get sticky over time, especially during intense gaming sessions. So this is going to make sure that your gameplay won't be affected by your fingers sticking to the screen. And in some cases, even if you don't have sweaty fingers, for those that are rocking phones that are older than a year, then most likely the oleophobic coating on those phones or on the tempered glass that you might have is already wearing away. So that means it's not going to be as smooth running your fingers across it. And if you compound that with sweaty fingers and oleophobic coating already rubbed off, then you're going to have a very hard time gaming. This is where the Gamesir Talon or finger sleeves come in. So these are just $9.99. And of course, for all these items that I'm reviewing right here for you guys, I'm going to be putting up the purchase link on the video description. So if any of these items catch your eye or you want to give it a try, please visit the links that I put up on the description. Now luckily for us, these already come in a pair, but if you're a heavy PUBG gamer and you tend to use a claw style, then you're going to need 2 pairs. So you can wear one on your thumb and one on your dominant finger. But for games like Mobile Legends, it's enough to just buy 1 pair and just put it over your thumb. So let me go ahead and show you how it looks when playing Mobile Legends, and I'll let you know how it feels. So hang on guys. So these are finger sleeves, or some people call them finger socks. Alright guys, so it does feel pretty good on the hand. It's very slippery, so you might get surprised by how slippery it feels. But of course, once you get used to it, it's going to make you look like a pro, guys. Would have loved to show off some Fanny gameplay, because Fanny is one of the characters on Mobile Legends that I feel would benefit a lot from using these finger sleeves. So what do you guys think of these finger sleeves? Is this one piece of accessory that you think you might invest in, especially if you're into professional gaming? But I haven't seen any esports or any pro esports gamer actually use these yet, but I might be wrong. So please feel free to share what you know or what you've seen on the esports gaming scene, and I'd love to discuss it. And I forgot to mention guys that the price of the Snowgon mobile cooling grip, or the F8 Pro, is around $39.99, which rounds up to around $40 US. And in my opinion, I actually enjoyed the time I've been using it, because I didn't have to hold on to the phone itself. It actually felt like a proper controller, and at no time did I feel that I was going to lose my grip on the phone. So kudos to Gamesir for sending me this cooling grip and letting me review it on the channel. And of course, what I've noticed is the screen stayed very cool. Even the Snapdragon 870 tend to get hot, and I did run Genshin Impact for a couple of minutes and it didn't get as hot as when I ran it without the cooling grip. But of course, these are just my initial impressions. I'm going to be doing a separate dedicated video, and I'm going to be testing out this cooler along with the other coolers that I've already got on the channel and see how well it compares. So I guess I'll end this quick review and unboxing of these awesome items that Gamesir sent to me. Please make use of the links that I put up on the video description in case you want to buy any of these items for yourself. But until then, a sub would be massively appreciated. Please like and subscribe, hit that bell icon notification, and see you all in the next one.